Hi, my name's Carter. People always told me I was a strange kid. I talked to myself a lot, and I would read books that even the adults didn't understand. When I was around 8, Mom took me to some doctors to see if I was all right. Instead of being sick, they found out that I had an IQ of 152. I was smart. Really smart. But that didn't help us much. My family was very poor, and even though I had all the makings to be successful, I was never allowed to succeed. I couldn't even become top of our class, and that's because people like Jake Turner exist. Jake was your typical spoiled rich kid. He had the world at his feet. He only needed to say it, and it happened. He barely did any of his homework, and still he was the teacher's pet, and top of the class to boot. He was lazy. But because his father's money made the world go round, Jake was given all the opportunities and an endless amount of second chances. He drives a Lambo to school, and that meant that most of the girls there were impressed by him. Even my girlfriend would often complain to me about it. Oh, if only you were more like Jake. I would be coming to school as the envy of every girl. You can't even afford to get me one measly gift. But even though it felt like a battle between David and Goliath, I still persevered. I did all my homework, worked a part-time job so I could afford my projects, school trips, and extracurricular work, and spent many nights studying till the wee hours of the morning so I could ace all my tests. There were still teachers who didn't let Jake money-dazzle them. And in a few months, I was poised to overtake Jake's top spot. And Jake knew this. So, he planned to ruin my life before I could even topple him. First, he sent his dad to me. Take this envelope. It's 10 grand. Just fail your next test. My son needs this. If he doesn't graduate at the top of his class, he'll never get into Harvard. When that didn't work, Jake hit me where it hurt the most. He took my girlfriend. And Laura was easily lured away by shiny earrings and necklaces. She practically ran to him when he promised her lavish dates and dinners at the town's best restaurants. I was determined to win her back. So I gave half of the money Jake's dad used to bribe me to my parents, and I kept half for myself. I dove into my savings to add to it and bought Laura a ring and the most expensive wedding dress I could find. On the day of Laura's birthday, Jake threw her a party. I gate-crashed her party, hoping to propose and finally show Jake he couldn't just take whatever he wanted. Laura, I know you're just blinded by all the shiny things he can buy for you, but I love you. Laura laughed. Let me stop you right there. Love? Are you seriously talking about love? Love can't buy me nice things, Carter. It can't throw me lavish parties like this. Have you looked at the buffet? There are literally 12 different desserts covered in gold. Now go back to whatever hovel you crawled out of and have that love you speak of for lunch. I'm keeping the ring, though. Everyone's eyes were on me. Even Jake was quiet for once, just enjoying my humiliation as people looked down their noses at me. They made me feel like I was much, much smaller than them. But before I could turn and leave, a voice came from above. We all looked up in shock as a girl screamed. Help! Help me! I don't know how to land this thing! She was an angel falling from the sky, and she fell right into my outstretched arms. I stumbled backwards, and we both fell into Laura's 5-tiered birthday cake, destroying it completely. And then we fell into the pool, her parachute engulfing us and getting us both stuck in each other's arms. Our eyes locked underwater, and we both blushed. I finally got us both untangled, and I carried her out of the pool in my arms. Oh my, it's like a scene from a movie. Help me, I think I'm about to swoon. Oh, it's so romantic. Look at Carter's arms. I didn't know he had such strong arms. Oh, what I'd give to have a man like that carry me to safety. As soon as I put the girl from the sky down on solid ground, people clapped, and she kissed me on the cheeks and thanked me for rescuing her. People laughed at Laura. I managed to trash her cake and replace her with a much hotter girl on the same day, at her own party. Laura didn't like that one bit. For that, Laura wanted revenge. She told everyone at school that the only reason I was getting good grades was because I was stealing answer keys from my teachers. She and Jake even stole actual papers and framed me for it. When the principal asked to check my bag, it was brimming with stolen papers from my teachers' desks. I was expelled. I was only a week away from graduating, and I never got the chance to take the top spot from Jake. I had to work at a grocery store to help my parents. No college wanted me after that cheating scandal. Jake went on to Harvard, and I started dating the girl who fell from the sky. Her name was Violet. A year later, I recognized two voices coming down the store aisle. I hurriedly made my way out of there to avoid them, but they caught up with me. Carter? Huh, Carter! I knew that was you! I knew he'd still be working here. It's been a year and he's still a loser. I knew I picked the right guy, didn't I, babe? You sure did. Otherwise, you'd be this pleb's wife. Can you imagine that? I'd rather not. This whole time, I was working to help out my parents and paying for my girlfriend's night classes so she could go realize her dream of becoming a pilot. I realized if I can't get a degree, at least I can help her get hers. And maybe one day we'd get out of our tiny apartment. But that night, while I was telling her of how my ex and Jake humiliated me in front of our customers, she sat me down and held my hands. Okay, I have something to confess. I'm not who you think I am. What do you mean? That day we met, I went skydiving asking for a sign. I was under a lot of pressure from my parents to get married, so our family could have an heir. I told myself I would marry the first guy I met when I landed, and, well, you caught me. I wanted to make sure you're a good person, and so, well, this whole time I've been testing you, making sure I wasn't about to make the wrong decision. I'm so confused, Violet. What are you saying right now? I'm saying you passed the test with flying colors. And not only that, I'm absolutely in love with you. Violet kissed me, and then she took me to her family. My jaw dropped when I saw her real house. All this time she'd been telling me she lived at their maid's house, and the people she introduced to me as her parents before were actually her driver and his wife, her maid. That day, I met her parents for the first time, and they weren't like the rich people I knew at all. They welcomed me as if they'd known me for ages, and they were very nice to me. They let my family move into their mansion before Violet and I were even married, and we became a huge, happy family. Violet bought me fancy suits, expensive cars, and sent her team of experts to give me a makeover. I landed on covers of magazines, and I became a popular figure in high society. When I would go out alone to cafes or restaurants, girls would recognize me and faint at the sight of me. 1 year later, I was back at the grocery store where I used to work. I was helping restock a brand of beauty products that were just imported from Korea when I heard Laura's grating voice behind me. Would you look at that? It's as if no time has passed at all. You're still here? Wow. You didn't even get promoted or anything. But I see at least they're paying you enough to get a nice haircut. Who cares how he dresses up? He's still earning minimum wage. He's probably spending all his salary into looking nice so he could bag a sugar mommy. Now, grab me that serum up on that shelf. I'm in a hurry. I have a gala to attend. I smiled at them and handed Laura what she wanted. Violet, honey, will you send a message to corporate and tell them that these two are banned from this store for life? Violet appeared, diamond necklaces dripping from her neck and her dress shimmering in the lights. She was ready to go to the gala, too. The same one Laura and Jake were not even invited to. Oh, and don't bother going to the gala. We've already told our guards to watch out for you two. This is an outrage! You can't ban me from this store. It's not like you own it. And what guards are you talking about? Are you really that slow? Or is all that makeup on your face inhibiting your brain functions? Carter owns this place, and I'm the one hosting the gala you're planning to gatecrash. Now, leave. The two were so confused at how rich I'd become. But they made their way to the door anyway, scared of any further repercussions. But before they left, Laura made sure to spite me one last time. Whatever! Keep your imported beauty creams and shove them where the sun don't shine. I'm telling my friends never to shop here again. Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of business. I clicked my fingers and two guards seized them. Oh, and here I was trying to be nice. I was gonna let you go. After all, where else would you be able to get those exclusive beauty products? But from here, I was gonna let you steal them one last time. But here we are. Steal what? The guard slashed Laura's designer bag and out fell over 30 different creams and serums that she shoplifted. I didn't take those! I'm being framed! Everyone, listen up! All my employees and the shoppers gathered around the scene. I declare these two shoplifters banned from every business I own in this town. And a poster of their faces will be displayed at the front of each business to warn everyone of them. No, you can't do that! I smiled. Turns out, I can. Laura and Jake's friends deserted them as soon as they learned what the pair had done. I owned half the businesses in town, and everyone saw them as the thieves they were. They had to move across the country. As Violet and I watched their plane take off, Violet and I shared a kiss, and finally, I was able to get justice from the people who tried to ruin my life.